So the Misfit of Demon King Academy episode 9 further highlights just how much we don't know about the history and the world of this anime, and that's really no surprise. How long have we been watching this show, and the people who are currently alive in this time frame have been told lies or have had the truth misinterpreted or completely warped just for another person's benefit. And even when you have characters like Ano saying, hey, this is how it is, it still doesn't answer everything that we want to know. And one of the biggest questions for me is what happened to the hero Kanon. And that's something that has had quite a few theories kind of floating around. The one that I was kind of confident in until this episode was a few weeks back we had that one subordinate of Ano's who was that white-haired knight, and then, well, you have Hsieh, right? I mean, that's someone who just kind of looks like he fits the bill. Character design seems familiar, the personality seems sort of familiar, or at least in terms of combat skills and things like that. There's just a lot that kind of makes sense for me that says that's who it is. But in this episode, it basically gets brought up, and he's like, hey, this might be who I am, and he's like, this might be who you are, but I'm still not 100% confident in that fact. And it's like, why? Why would Anos not be confident on who was reincarnated when he seemingly has the answer for everything? And then we get introduced to the Hero Academy. And the Hero Academy is something I wasn't really thinking much about, but it was really interesting how they pretty much have the same kind of system that they have for the Demon King, where you basically train heroes and whoever has the most, I guess probably aptitude, gets to be the next hero. And apparently, there's been multiple versions of the hero Kanon at this school, because different sources will allow him to come back in different ways. But Anos calls them all fakes. Now I'm kind of wondering if they're going to go the route either a character we haven't met yet is going to be the hero, or if it's going to be Hsieh. Hsieh is someone who I'm very fascinated by because he's someone who doesn't actually fit any characteristics from what we've seen in flashbacks of what the hero is. But the thing is it gets highlighted in this episode, they promise that if they ever get reincarnated, they would come back as friends. So I'm wondering if because apparently he was murdered, so he's going to be a different person now. Some human murdered him, which isn't very good. Maybe it's going to be the mysterious man in the window with the glasses who kind of feels like he's very familiar to some of the characteristics of just people we've seen from the hero side before. I wonder if someone wanted to be the hero themselves. If they take out the hero, then they'll be able to be reincarnated after kind of warping history or something like that. What if there's a hero who took the name of the hero by betraying the real one, as there's also a fake demon lord, and what if they work together to basically profit off of their demise? There's a lot of room for just kind of conspiracies and mysteries and things like that, and I'm really hoping they go all in terms of that. Will we get a lot of that information? I honestly think so, because we have 4 episodes left to go. This is going to be a 13-episode season. I think there's room if this is going to be the arc that we're focusing on. It's going to be the hero, who is the hero, what happened to the hero, and also kind of maybe we'll get some more information on why his subordinates have basically all but one been screwed over, and did they leave one to just make him kind of feel misguided, or was this one actually just so powerful that he kind of avoided getting his kind of source screwed over, or did they simply not have enough minions that they trusted to be able to take over his source, which allowed him to come back? There's a lot we don't know, and that's what's really fun about Demon King Academy. This is a show that's trying to make you think and say, I know where it's going, but at the same time, because it's not playing by the traditional light novel Academy rule set, it has a lot of possibility of where it can go, and that's really, really exciting to me. Because the hero, from what we've been told from the human and even the demon side, is a lot different than the hero that we've met. He started out pretty hostile, but as we see in this episode, he had his doubts, like really, is killing the Demon King the only solution when the Demon King is offering peace, and we've already seen what that peace was. It's very interesting to see that over the course of their life, they built some sort of friendship, that they went against all odds, where from the human side had to view the demons as evil, apparently, because that's how their history would be okay, where the demon side looked at it as a little different, but because both were murdered, it seems like the true history wasn't able to be survived. I think Anos probably assumed that if the hero was alive, the history would have been a lot better. Maybe it would have been warped, but probably in a way that both sides could coexist peacefully. But I guess there's probably someone on Hero Kanon's side that decided, no, this is how it's going to be. And that's really interesting to me, and I'm really curious if a big reason why things have gone so astray is if the hero was reincarnated into the demon side. And it may not be Hsieh, because even though they're putting a lot of focus on him and there's certain shots I feel like they're really trying to put the emphasis on him, it could be a character we have yet to meet, or someone we already have met, because if they go that direction, that means they're not following the traditional rule set where someone who's reincarnated and it's going to be the same character he's gonna have the same hairstyle, the same hair color, things like that. And that's why I was like, oh, it has to be this one friend that we met a few episodes back who had the white hair. He has white hair, he's good with a sword, of course, it has to be who he is. And it no longer feels like that is who he is, especially considering that Anos isn't confident that it's someone that was someone from his past that was on his side or something like that. So there's a lot of room here. I think they have a lot of possibility, and episodes like these I think are really important, where it kind of feels like if you break it down, all that happened was there was a lot of talking, we get a new teacher who's already better than the last one. I mean, she actually compliments Anos, and you're like, oh, you're the Misfit, huh? You actually know a hell of a lot. It's really nice to see something like that because it actually shows you that things that happen in the past arcs are actually going to have lasting effects going forward. If you're saying that you basically removed the teacher from operation, I'm actually really happy that they brought up the fact that everyone's kind of confused at what happened to her, and some characters are kind of just like, yeah, I wonder what happened to her, Anos being that one. It seems like this episode was really kind of establishing the new arc that we're going to be ending this season on, and I don't think there's a better way to go out on an anime season not knowing if you're going to get a second season than the mystery of the hero who worked with the Demon King to bring about peace to the world. And the fact that even on the hero side, it's so warped and altered, and it feels like fakes are everywhere. And I think that's really nice, because rather than just giving it one side that you have to worry about, now you have to worry about the hero side as well. And it is nice every time, like, someone tries to, like, charge towards Anos and he just has to blink and apparently it throws him around. It shows you how you can use that overpowered quirk to your advantage, where you're just saying, hey, you know, the big awesome parts of this show aren't actually the action, it's rather just his overall presence and what that presence does to characters and narratives, where you have someone who knows so much about history who's basically apologizing for apparently everything that she was taught, and apparently how that's wrong because Anos just invoked confidence even when you don't know what he's saying. This is a show that definitely knows what it's doing, and I'm really glad that they're going out with a bang. And even though this may not have been the flashiest or the most like crispest of episodes that we've seen, I think it did a remarkable job at really establishing more of the character relationships and just characters like Misha and Sasha and just like where they're gonna go from here, and you know, obviously throwing in more of that flirtatious banter because it's always funny, because you know that's not what the focus is, and like the shipping aspect that usually these communities garnish isn't what's important here. Everyone's pretty much wondering what happened to the Demon King, what happened to his subordinates, what happened to the hero, and why would a hero get murdered by a human that he saved. And it definitely feels to me, if I'm going to put my eggs in any basket, that someone wanted to take over the hero spots, killed him, altered history, as someone on the demon side also did that, and they both took up the mantle of the hero and the Demon King, despite it clearly being fake. So that's where I'm going to bet. Maybe there's some difference there, some more alterations that I haven't thought up. But I think that's where they're going, and I think that'd be a really good job. And honestly, I don't know who the hero is. I'm wondering if it could be Lei or someone else. I don't know. Please, no spoilers, but there's a lot happening here, and I'm glad that they're not just being generic and, you know, underwhelming, just putting the focus on cliche love stories, but rather actually putting the focus on characters and stories first and foremost, because this is what usually you want to see. But honestly, unless you read the source materials and you get 12 volumes in, you usually don't get to see that. But of course, as always, let me know your thoughts and feelings down below. Did you love, did you hate, your favorite moment, and what are you feeling? Do let me know. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button if you happen to be new around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.